Since we're looking at, oh, hi, how are you doing? Since we're going to look at decisions this lesson, I think before we get going, we need to go and look at how the logical operators are done. So these are some truth tables I made up, and we're going to go over it. Again, the math operators are done first. Your pluses, minus, divides done first. Then your relational operators, such as equals to, more than, less than. And then the last ones are your logical operators, okay? And we need these when we start combining rational operations between one and the other. So let me explain. So let's say we have a statement. We'll start with, these are in order of their precedence. We do the nots first, then the ands, then the ors, then the exclusive ors. Okay? Symbols for these are the and sign in Java are ampersands. The or sign are what I call pipes. They're in the just above your enter key in the uppercase backslash. And then XOR is the caret, which is uppercase 6. Okay, those are the symbols. Not is just not, or it can be the, it would be the exclamation point or bang. Okay, I explained that before. Sometimes the geeks call the exclamation point a bang and the asterisk as a splat. Okay. So if a statement is true, a conditional statement is true, and we say not true, it becomes false. If it's false and we say not false, it becomes true. So that's pretty simple, okay? Pretty simple. In the case of and statements, let's say we have a statement like, we're enrolled in Computer Science 115. Sorry about that. And we're at ICC. So if we assess this, our first statement is true. Okay, so we have a true. And we're at ICC. That's another true. So if you look up here and we compare true and true, it converges on true. So that statement would be true. So up here, we can just say that this one here is in fact true. If I say we're in Computer Science 115 and we're at Black Hawk College, now I have a true and a false. Okay, so if I go to my chart here, I have true and false. It's false. Okay, so this one here would be evaluated as false. I'm enrolled in English 110. So that's false. I'm assuming you're not. And I'm at ICC, which is true. So if I look at a false and a true, that is false. Just listen to it. When you talk, say it. I'm in English 110, and at the same time, I'm at Black Hawk College. Or I'm at ICC. So I'm enrolled in English 110 and at ICC. Well, that doesn't make sense, so it's false. Go to the next one. If I'm enrolled in English 110, which I'm not, and I'm at Black Hawk College, which I'm not, okay, I have a false and a false, and you can see here if I go to false and false, that one is also false. All right? Moving over here to the or statements. So, let's say I'm enrolled at in Computer Science 115. That's a true statement. Or I'm at ICC. That's a true statement. So if I look at a true or a true, that becomes a true. I'm enrolled in Computer Science 115, or I'm at Black Hawk College. So that's a true or a false. Okay. Now listen to it again. we're enrolled at Computer Science 115. You might be in class or you might be online, but you're still enrolled in Computer Science 115. But you don't have to be at Black Hawk College, okay? Do you? Just listen to it if you say it out loud. So a true or a false, so if I took a true and a false, or a false, come down here, that's a true statement because I'm in Computer Science 115. How about I'm enrolled in English 110, which is a false statement, or I'm at ICC. Well, that's a true statement. Okay? So if I look at false and true, it comes out as true. Okay? If I come down here and it says we're enrolled in English 110, that's a false. Or we're at Black Hawk College, that's a false. Fix that, false. There we go. So now, that one, if we look at false and false, we get a false. So if you look at these, what can we generically say about ands? Well, we can say that both statements have to be true for it to be true. Okay? Or if I have a false, it's always going to be false. In the or case, the only way it'll ever be false is if both statements are false. Okay? These also, in Java, we automatically have a short circuit. And by that I mean, let's say that you have an and statement like we have in this one right here, that we're enrolled in 110 and at ICC. As soon as your program evaluates that we're in English 110 as a false statement, does it need to go on to compare the ICC part? No, because there's no way that once I have a false here, if you look, either any time I have a false, what's the whole thing going to be? Well, it's going to be false. So there's no reason for the computer to go on and do the second evaluation. Likewise, over here in the or, if I come here and, let's see, right here, I'm enrolled at Computer Science 115, that's true. Do I really need to go on past that to Black Hawk College? No, because any time there's a true, if I look at all my true commitments, they're all going to be true. True, true, true. The only time I'm going to get a false is if it's false. Going on to XOR. Exclusive OR. I hardly ever use it. I'll give you an example of it. Let's say that you have a grandmother, okay? And when you go to grandma's house, she likes to cook, or bake. No matter if it's good or bad, grandma likes to bake. And grandma makes pies and cakes, okay? Grandma makes pies and cakes. And at grandma's house, okay, when you eat dinner there, you have to eat some dessert, okay? You have to have a dessert. But grandma doesn't like when you're a pig or that you overeat. So what grandma says is you can have either pie or cake, but you can't have both, okay? So now if you think of the rows as pies and the columns as cake, okay? So this is wrong right now. Let me fix this. This should be a false. Because at grandma's house, I can't have pie, which is my row, and my cake. So if this was cake coming down, you can't have both, so that should be false. And that's correct. Can you have pie, which would be this one, or I'm sorry. Let's see. Can I have pie, which would be this one? That would be true for pie. False for cake? Yes, I can. That would be this one. Can I not have cake, but have pie? Well, sure I can. Or not have pie and have cake, either way you want to look at it. But I cannot have no pie and no cake. And that's kind of how exclusive OR means. So if you have two trues or two falses, it's false. If you have a false and a true or a true and a false, then it's true. Okay, so those are your logical operators, and I'll be coming back with more videos in the near future. Thanks for watching.